menu of this program, nutrient contributions, vitamins, and eating behavior. Who hasn't sometimes worried about the quality of the food they're eating? It's true we've all been sick from food at one time or another, but most of the time it's due to our own excesses. Too much of a good thing, as they say. Each person has specific nutritional needs. It's up to us to strike our own nutritional balance. Every day we eat foods which provide our bodies with the energy nutrients they need to function. Our body grows, it expands and renews itself. In addition, it has to defend itself against all forms of aggression. To enable it to perform all these tasks harmoniously, its nutritional equilibrium is essential. Generally speaking, the foods we eat are natural substances of complex composition. Digestion decomposes them into nutrients, that is, into molecules the cells can assimilate directly. These nutrients are chiefly proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids. Proteins are fundamental components of all living cells. They serve to build, maintain, and repair body tissue. They include many substances such as hormones and enzymes. Proteins are complex nitrogenous macromolecules composed of one or more chains of amino acids. Some of these amino acids are what we call essential, as the human body cannot synthesize them and must therefore find them in its diet. Other nutrients, carbohydrates, which include starches and sugars, are the major energy sources in our diet. They are the combustibles best suited to muscular exertion. Quickly assimilated, they release their energy rapidly. There are two types of carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates, such as glucose, are rapidly assimilated. Complex carbohydrates, such as starch, are digested more slowly. Lipids, or fats, are the most important part of a living organism's diet in terms of usable energy. Lipids are composed of fatty acids, which, together with proteins and carbohydrates, constitute the principal structural material of living cells. There are two types of lipids. One, lipids contained in foods derived from animals. And two, lipids contained in foods derived from plant life. Foods can be broken down into 5 main groups, which provide us with lipids, carbohydrates, and proteins, and which are also sources of vitamins, minerals, and fiber. The combination of these 5 food groups supplies the body with all the elements it needs to perform at its peak level. The first food group consists of milk and dairy products and is characterized by its high protein and calcium content. Dairy products can, to some degree, be substituted for meat, fish, or eggs due to their high protein content. For example, a half a liter of milk equals 2 eggs, or 100 grams of meat or fish. It is recommended that dairy products be eaten at every meal in the form of milk, yogurt, or cheese. The second food group includes meat, fish, and eggs, and is another important source of protein. Moreover, these foods are a good source of iron the body can absorb easily. Fat intake is quite variable. On average, non-fatty fish, white chicken meat, and liver contain less than 5%. However, tuna packed in oil or salami contains about 20%. Meat, fish, or eggs should be eaten once a day, but it is not necessary to eat them twice a day. The foods in the third group, vegetables and fruits, have a high water content, approximately 75 to 95% of their weight. Their energy value, usually low, depends on their sugar content. Vegetables and fruits are composed of fibers, which swell with water in the intestine. These fibers speed up gut motility and prevent constipation. Vegetables and fruits also contain numerous minerals. Vegetables and fruit are the main sources of vitamin C and carotene. It is healthy to eat a daily portion of raw vegetables, salad, and fresh fruit, as well as a serving of cooked, fresh, canned, or frozen vegetables. The fourth group is made up of a wide variety of foods, all high in complex carbohydrates and fiber. It includes cereals, bread, potatoes, and grain legumes. They are all high in energy and are slowly digested. Cereals and dry legumes, such as lentils or beans, are also a good source of protein. It is recommended that we eat a serving of potatoes, pasta, rice, or grain legumes and bread with each meal every day. The fifth food group, fats, is composed of very high energy compounds. The level of fat content varies depending on the food. For example, the fat content of cream is 30%, butter and margarine 82%, and oil 100%. These fats are sources of essential fatty acids and vitamins. To keep our fat intake down, we should avoid eating too fatty dishes in one day, such as cold cuts, heavy sauces, fried foods, and cream pastries. By drawing from all the food groups for our 3 meals every day, we ensure that our body gets the variety and quality of nutrients it needs. Until recently, the health officials in industrialized countries thought their citizens had sufficient food to meet their nutritional needs, but they were wrong. Indeed, recent studies show that even the wealthiest nations have dietary deficiencies, in vitamins, for one. Vitamins are organic substances, essential in small amounts for the normal growth and activity of our bodies. The body does not synthesize them, so we have to get our vitamins from the foods we eat. Vitamins play a part in all the biological reactions that occur within each cell. They are activators, or catalysts, for the transformation of the carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins we ingest, and facilitate the release and use of the energy they contain. Without them, our bodies would be unable to benefit from the constructive energy nutrients in our diets. In addition, vitamins help to neutralize free radicals. The metabolism produces these highly reactive, oxygenated molecules continuously, especially from the oxygen we breathe. Free radicals attack essential structures, such as the DNA. They will also attack the proteins and lipids in cell membranes. Cells have complex reactions to defend themselves against these activated oxygen derivatives. For one, they call upon the vitamins which have an antioxidant effect. An insufficient vitamin intake may in fact be linked to certain cancers and heart diseases. Vitamins fall into 2 major categories: water-soluble vitamins and fat-soluble vitamins. Water-soluble vitamins include the B-complex vitamin group and vitamin C. B-complex vitamins are present in most foods, but particularly in liver, meat, and eggs. B vitamins play an essential role in the transformation of lipids, carbohydrates, and proteins. Vitamin C, or ascorbic acid, increases our resistance to infection and fatigue. It also plays an important part in many tissue, cell, humoral, and hormonal metabolisms. Vitamin C is found in fruit, especially citrus fruits, and in raw green vegetables. Fat-soluble vitamins include the A, D, E, and K vitamin groups. Vitamin A counteracts night blindness, weak eyesight, and aids in the treatment of many eye disorders. It promotes growth, strong bones, and healthy skin, hair, teeth, and gums. It is found in milk, butter, eggs, liver, carrots, spinach, and certain fruits. Vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, helps prevent rickets by properly utilizing calcium necessary for strong bones and teeth. It enhances the digestive absorption of calcium and regulates its elimination through the kidneys, leaving the body only what it needs. Vitamin D is produced in the deeper layers of the skin by ultraviolet irradiation, but this source may be insufficient. So we should increase our intake of fatty fish and dairy products, egg yolks, and liver. Vitamin E is a biological antioxidant that neutralizes the active forms of oxygen and thus preserves and enhances the activity of vitamin A. It also protects cell membranes and extends the life of red cells. Vitamin E is found in vegetable oils, almonds and hazelnuts, green vegetables, eggs, milk, and butter. Vitamin K is essential for blood coagulation. It is found mainly in such foods as liver and leafy green vegetables. The intestinal bacterial flora produces it as well. All vitamins are fragile compounds and are particularly sensitive to light and heat. Foods are likely to lose them easily, mainly due to the treatment they're subjected to. Water-soluble vitamins, for example, are often lost in washing and cooking water. Vegetables and whole fruits should be washed quickly under running water. The best way of cooking them is to plunge them into boiling water. This deactivates the enzymes that degrade their vitamins. We should also avoid overcooking or reheating them too often. Large-scale vitamin deficiencies were responsible for the historic plagues, which no longer exist in the industrialized world. However, many secondary deficiencies persist in certain groups of people, such as adolescents and the elderly. Young people tend to eat a lot of junk food, and older people often have digestion problems. As a rule, a very balanced diet will provide the body with all the vitamins it needs. Looking good, pumping iron, staying forever young. All motives that influence our eating habits. But the single most important motive ought to be our health.